Hey guys, Jamin the Shaman here from the Castaclysm podcast at castaclysm.com, and I want to show you this a little more happy video. A couple videos ago, I don't know when, I made a video of Orgrimmar burning, and I was sad, and everyone was like, Jamin, why are you so sad? And I said to them, I'm sad because Orgrimmar's burning. Everything we've seen throughout these years playing World of Warcraft is going away. It is being destroyed. I am sad. And then they said, but there is new on the horizon. And I didn't believe them. But then this happened. And I cannot put into words how it feels to sit here and look at this thing. It's so crazy to say that about a video game. About a place that doesn't exist in a tangible place. There's no tangible location for Azeroth or for Orgrimmar. But it is a place we all go. And they I don't know what they did, but they made it feel like Orgrimmar still, and yet make it completely new and awesome. I mean, there is no city comes close to Orgrimmar. Dalaran is terrible compared to Orgrimmar. Dalaran, which was sweet. The reason Dalaran wasn't cool was because it had such a tiny footprint. Orgrimmar's massive. It's huge. It's almost as big as a zone, if not bigger. And then here's that was just a random hut, and you can see the doodads on the walls. And this is a undead hunter named Clinks that I noticed. He's already named Clinks on the PTR. I don't get it, but that's awesome. Clinks is a Dota character. It's an undead archer in Dota. So the undead hunter works perfectly. And someone also mentioned that he might be a GM. They were like, he's a GM. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I was trying to test him to see if he was. He probably wasn't. Probably some random guy. But that's Clinks for you. And I'll get back to Orgrimmar now. I think I get it. There we go. Okay. So there's the new residence of the War Chief. Garrosh Hellscream lives in that center building. And that is... I think it's really cool that the War Chief is now in the middle of the high traffic area. No other city has the hero right in the middle of the high traffic area. And that is going to make raids on Orgrimmar that much more difficult. Because they have to run through the trade district. I mean, people might be more inclined to actually defend due to the fact that all they got to do is step 5 feet to the right, and there's Garrosh. Of course, they might be less inclined to defend because all they got to do is step 5 feet to the right, and Garrosh gets killed, and everyone's happy. I like Garrosh at some level. There is some level of me that likes Garrosh, and there's another level of me that despises him. And he's a really interesting character for that, but that's another move. That's another video for another time. There's the new Tree of Life. I don't know how I care about that, but there it is. And let's go check out Garrosh in Garrosh Hold. Garrosh Hold. There's a mailbox outside his building, just in case Garrosh has to walk outside. And isn't this building fit for a war chief? Compare this to Thrall's current, where he is. This is a building for a war chief. You'll see it better as I walk out, I think. And here's Eitrig. Still level 20. Oh, Eitrig. You and your level 20-ness will never... You'll never become better than level 20, and except for the fact that you were level 75 in Northrend. I don't know what happened. He must have hacked. I think Eitrig hacked, and then they just kicked him back down to 20. And they were like, no, there's no way you leveled that fast. And here's Garrosh Hellscream.
Hellscream's eyes are upon you. Only the strongest may dwell in Orgrimmar. Live by these words. Loktar Ogar! Victory! or death. You will serve the Horde, or be crushed beneath it. Only the strongest may dwell in Orgrimmar. You will serve the Horde, or be crushed beneath it. Hellscream's eyes are upon you.
That's Garrosh for you, of course. There's Sunrun,
What
the
you-
Mystic, whoever that is.
Greetings,
And then some
traveler.
Earthen Ring dude. And some, see, look at that. Isn't that sweet? That ceiling? Look at the Horde banners just draping across. You know how many Alliance it took to make those banners? God, it took tons. We had to, prisoners of war, and I mean, they had to, there's some pretty gruesome things they had to do. I mean, it takes a lot of Kodos to make one Horde banner, but it takes a lot of Alliance to put it together correctly. And when you get the good ones, you know. I have no idea what these buildings are. I wish I knew. I wish I had taken the time to look around more, but I just felt like I had to throw this up and give it to you. First impressions, feelings, how I was going. And there are Doomsday cultists still walking about. The event is still going on. I assume it'll continue going on until Cataclysm's released. Maybe something sweet will happen afterwards. I have yet to see the elemental invasion actually occur.
You don't want it.
I've just seen.
You break it, you buy it. Have I got a deal for you? I know a buyer when I see one. Yeah, very funny. Buy something to leave. You're just embarrassing yourself. Ugh, I don't have time for this. Will you knock it off? You're doing it wrong. What part of time is money? Don't you understand? Yeah. Oh, I get it. You can poke things. I'm not getting paid enough for this. Hey, tickling costs extra, bub. This stuff sells itself. Can I lighten that coin purse for you? Got the best deals anywhere.
I'll tell you what, she's got some scary teeth. She opened her mouth at one point, that was scary. I don't know what point I was making before we started listening to her voice. And this is the next part. I cut this for no reason, but I stopped filming, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should continue filming. But there's the front gate of Orgrimmar, and this is the way to get around right now, because there are no flying mounts allowed at the moment. You still can't fly in the old world, you can just run around amazed. And this is how you get up and down to the Zeppelin towers, because the Zeppelin towers are no longer outside Orgrimmar, they're on the upper cliffs section, whatever you want to call it. And those are it's pretty cool coming in. I came in from Northrend because I had my hearth in Dalaran. Dalaran no longer has portals. Do not set your hearth to Northrend before the Shattering, before next Tuesday. Turn your hearthstones back to Orgrimmar if you want to experience this. Or just log out in Orgrimmar. It'll send you to the nearest graveyard. When you come back online, you'll be in the nearest graveyard of where your character was. I was in Mulgore when I logged onto the PTR. And it is just, I love Orgrimmar now. I loved it before, but this is so cool. This is just as cool. And, oh my gosh, I love how awesome it is. So go up the Zeppelin tower. I wanted to get the highest possible shot I could without having a flying mount. And there you go. That fire was, we had to rebuild Orgrimmar after the fire. We built it with stone instead of wood because we've learned from our mistakes. The elementals couldn't attack then, right? Because we can't burn the city down. Well, we'll see. And here's where the Flight Master is, right here. And there's a trainer right next to him for flying, but you can't get the flying training for Old World yet. Again, I assume that's because there's another elevator. I assume it's because they don't want people to fly to Vashir or Hyjal or any of the new zones yet. They want to keep people contained by only being able to use the breadcrumb quests. And then there's that's the Tarn area, and another random street in Orgrimmar. And I think that's the coolest part about this, is it feels like a city as opposed to just like, these are the buildings that we need. Put these buildings in this city because we need those buildings. There was a few of those in the Drag was like the only place in Orgrimmar where the buildings weren't necessary. There's a couple buildings in there that were just silly, or empty, or not used, or just quests or something. And this is the Tolbarad portal. But now there's just tons all over Orgrimmar. At least, well, I don't know what they do yet, so maybe that's why. But I thought this was sweet. So, anyways, guys, that's New Orgrimmar so far. You gotta experience it yourself. You're gonna experience it yourself. It is great. It's worth the wait. It's worth everything. Stay classy.